Formulas. Objectives. Distinguish between molecular, structural, and empirical formulas. Write the empirical formula given the molecular formula. Finally, write the molecular formula and empirical formula from structural formulas. Molecular formulas show the actual ratio of atoms in a molecule of that compound. For example, C4H8. There are 4 atoms of carbon and 8 atoms of hydrogen in that molecule. Structural formulas show how the atoms of a substance are bonded together. Their structural arrangement. The atoms are connected by lines. Empirical formula of a compound is the simplest whole number ratio of the atoms of the elements in a compound. For example, C2H5. The ratio between carbon and hydrogen cannot be less. Practice question. Which type of formula shows an element symbol for each atom and a line for each bond between the atoms? Structural formulas. Structural formulas have lines connecting each atom. Empirical formula from molecular formula. Given the molecular formula C5H10. Next, we need to write the subscripts to the lowest ratio. Here we have 5 divided by 5 and 10 divided by 5. The lowest ratio is CH2. CH2 is the empirical formula from the molecular formula C5H10. Molecular and empirical formula from structural formulas. Given the structural formula, first we need to count all the atoms and write the molecular formula. We have 4 carbons, 2 hydrogen, 2 nitrogen, and 4 oxygen. Next, to write the empirical formula, we need to write the subscripts to the lowest ratio. The subscripts C4, H2, N2, O4 can all be divided by 2. The resulting formula is C2HNO2. Molecular and empirical formulas that are the same. There are instances when the molecular formula is the same as the empirical formula. For example, the molecular formula C5H8. If the ratio of the atoms in the molecular formula cannot be simplified further, the empirical formula is the same as the molecular formula. In this example, the empirical formula is also C5H8, the same as the molecular formula. Practice question. Which molecular formula is also an empirical formula? N2O5. All the other formulas can be reduced further. C6H6 can be reduced to CH. H2O2 can be reduced to HO, while N2H4 can be reduced to NH2. The only answer choice that cannot be reduced further is N2O5, choice 4. Multiple compounds with the same empirical formula. Multiple compounds can also have the same empirical formula. For example, the molecular formula C5H10 has the empirical formula CH2, while the molecular formula C6H12 also have the empirical formula CH2.